Hello and welcome everyone to CSE Core Concepts in my series of machine learning algorithms. In this video, I am going to demonstrate the Naive-Bayes algorithm in RStudio. So those who have missed my earlier video on the theoretical portion of Naive-Bayes algorithm, I recommend them to please go through the video so that you can understand how the classification is performed in case of Naive-Bayes algorithm. Here, I am considering a data set from admission data where whether a student will get admission or not, that depends on three parameters, that is his GRE score, GPA and rank. Now there are two classes here that the student will not get an admission, that is 0, and the student will get an admission, that is 1. So based on this data, let us get started. First, let us include the library files. So the library file which will help us to perform the Naive-Bayes algorithm is E1071. Okay, so this file contains the library data that will help us to perform the Naive-Bayes classification. And of course, we require the library caret to perform the other plotting and other classification techniques. So let us first get started with reading the data. So I am considering a data frame admission data and reading the file, that is a CSV file, and I have created a data frame admission having 400 observations of 4 variables. Let us first see the structure of the data, that is the admission data. So if I see the structure, I can realize here that there are 4 variables. Admit is of type integer having two values 0 and 1. GRE is integer, GPA is numeric because it has decimal values, and rank is also an integer value. So I prefer that instead of having the classes 0 and 1, it will be more clear if we can convert these values into yes and no, so that it is very clear that whether the student will get admission or not. So to convert this value into yes and no, I am converting this admit value by saying that if the value is equals to 0, then it is your no. Okay, so let's see whether it converts. Yes, it has converted. So similarly, if I copy this and paste it here and I write down that if the value is equals to 1 and I want it to be yes, so it gets converted. And let's see the structure of the data. Yes, so it is now becoming a character data type having no and yes values. But I want majorly it to be a factorial data type because I want it to be a factor because the values matter. Okay, 0 and 1 matters here. Same for rank I want to do because when I am saying rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, they differ. Okay, the order differs. So that is why I want to convert both this type of data, that is rank, as well as this into a factor data type and admit into a factor data type. So I can say admission underscore data admit, okay, is equals to factor, that is admission underscore data admit. Okay, so let us convert these two into a factor variable and let's again see the structure of the data. So now yes, it has converted into a factor variable of 2 levels, no and yes, and rank has 4 levels, that is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 and rank 4. So now let us go for creating the model, but before creating the model, we have to go for some data partitioning. We have to divide our data into two parts. So let's say I am dividing my sample into two parts from the rows, number of rows of the admission data, where I am considering replacement is equals to true. That means yes, there will be replacement possible. And probability is how much training and testing data I want to keep. So let us say first I am keeping 80% training data and 20% testing data. So the train data will contain the first part, admission data of first partition, that is data part is equals to 1 including all columns. And the test data is containing admission underscore data, that is data part, second part is the testing data of all columns. So let's just see whether they are working fine or not. Yes. So two data frames are created. Training data has 321 observations and testing data has 79 observations, right? Now let us create the model. We perform the model training. So let's give a name to the model. Let's say NB, that is naive Bayes, and the function which we will use is naive Bayes. Admit, I want to predict admit the style sign, and which will consider admit is depending on all the other attributes GRE, GPA and rank. So I'm just putting a dot here. That means all the columns are included for predicting the admit, and the data I want to give it the training data. And let's see the model. Let's see what has been created. Yes, my model is created, and yeah, see, you can see here naive Bayes is created. Out of the training data, 67% is no, 32% says yes. Conditional probability of GRE score is this for the two values. GPA rank for one rank, no, 11% is no, 35% rank 2 is no, and so on. Okay. So this is how your data is being showing. Model is created. So let us see how my model is able to predict for the training data, right? So NB is equals to predict. I want to see it how my model is performing for the training data. So NB underscore predict I want to see. Let's see the predictions, how much it learned. So some yes, no's are coming, but it is very difficult for us to understand these yes and no values. So it will be very good if we get a tabular representation which will show us how many are correctly predicted and how many are wrongly predicted. So train data and admit you want. So you are creating a table of predicted values and whatever training data you have created. Let's see. So let's see the table. Yeah, so you can see no and yes. So I have always told you the diagonal elements are the correct ones. So no, actually these are the actual values, and this row represents the predicted. So 192 is actually no and they are predicted as no. 33 are actually no and predicted actually yes and predicted as yes. 26 are actually no but are predicted as yes, and 70 are actually yes but are predicted as no. Understood? So let us see how many data has been misclassified or how many has been correctly classified. So how many are correctly classified? See, 192 plus 33, they are correctly classified. Among how many? Among all the data. All the data means how many data you had? 192 plus 70 plus 26 plus 33. So you want to compute what? You want to compute the diagonal divided by the total elements, right? So sum of diagonals of the tab divided by your sum of all the elements of the table, right? So it will give you a misclassification error, that is 29%. If you want accuracy, that is opposite of it, just write sum of this. So it will give you the accuracy, that is 70% accuracy you are getting. Okay. Let us plot the figure. Plot it in a graph and see. Plot is NB predict versus your trained data. What was your actual? Okay, what is predicted and what is actual? So let's see the plotting here. So you can see here, yeah. So these many are no. This light shade is no, actually no, and predicted as no. Dark one is no and yes, wrong predictions. Here actually yes and they are predicted as yes, and no yes but predicted as no. So you can, instead of creating a table, if you want some more statistical inferences, we can directly use the function confusion matrix. Okay, so to create the matrix, and it will also give you some statistical inferences of the data, right? So you can say admit, right? So if you create this confusion matrix, you can see over here, yes, this is the reference, that is actual, and this is the predicted. So 192 are actually no, predicted as no. 33 are actually yes, predicted as yes. These are the wrong classification. So accuracy is 70%. So misclassification is 100 minus 70, that is 30%. 95% confidence interval, that the accuracy will range between 64 to 75%. And all the P and the kappa values and other statistical measurements are being given over here. Now this is how it performed for the training data. So if I want to see how the model is performing on the testing data, let me do the prediction on the testing data. So and I am using a different data frame, NB predict on the model on the test data. So NB underscore predict underscore test. Let's see how it is working. Okay, so again my yes, no. So it is better to get a table for it. Let's create a table here, but we have to give a separate name to this table. Let's say table 2, and the data is from NB predict underscore test, and the data is your test data. Okay, so here also table 2. Let's create a table here. So you have created a table. So how many are correctly classified? 49 plus 8. Understood? So 57 are correctly classified, and rest of them, how many were testing data? 79. So 59 are correct, 57 are correctly classified. Rest your 22 are wrongly classified, right? So again here also you can see the misclassification error as, or you can see the accuracy, sum of the diagonal of the table divided by the total elements of the table. So you can see what is your accuracy, 70% accuracy you are getting. Here also you can use the confusion matrix function to create all the statistical analysis. So NB underscore predict underscore test, and here it is the test data. So you can get all the statistical inferences here. So accuracy is coming out to be some 72%. It is a quite a good accuracy here. And of course you can plot here NB predict underscore test of the and versus the training data actual data values. Okay, so admit. So you can create a plot over here. So it's being done. So you can see how the plot looks like. Fine. Now here, if you are not satisfied with the accuracy, how you can fine tune your model is that you can first change on the ratio of training and testing. Sometimes we feel that more training is good, but it is not actually so. So it may lead to an overfitted curve. So let us say 0.7, that is 70% training and 30% testing. So let us recreate the model with the new set, and let's see how much accuracy we are getting for this case, right? Okay, so when I am changing, I am getting the accuracy 69%. So not major changes there in the accuracy of the training data, but we can always check for the testing data if it is performing well. Earlier we were getting 72%, now we are getting 73%. It is quite good. Moreover, if you feel that not all the attributes are equally contributing to the model tuning, so you may also change the attributes. See, I have come again to model training where we have put a tilde sign and a dot. This meant that I am considering all the rest of the attributes in determining the admit value. But if you feel that you want to check which parameters are majorly contributing, let's say I am saying just GRE and GPA I want to include. I don't want to include the rank. Let's create the model all over again and just check what is the accuracy you are getting with this change. Here you are getting the accuracy dropped, that is 67% it became. For testing data also, let's see whether the accuracy has dropped or not. Yes, it may drop. I guess that yes, 69% it dropped. That means what, rank was playing an important role. So let us just remove GPA and just check whether only rank will increase or not. So let's recreate the model again with the new attributes, and let's see 70%. Yes, again it is giving me Good. That means this indicates that rank was playing an important role. Understood? So again here also we are getting 69%, but okay, it's not that much good we are getting as we were getting by including all the three parameters. So you can include GPA also, right? So this way also you can also fine tune your models. So please try this and you can get some more data sets from Kaggle and GitHub, and you can try such implementations so that it will be more clear to you that how you can fine tune your models. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to CSE Core Concepts, and in my next video I am going to discuss, or I am going to demonstrate some of the regression models. So thank you for now.